What's up, founders? Welcome back to another hot take. In today's episode, we are going to... video. I meant video. In today's video, we are going to be talking all about how should you approach your customer research? One of the hands down most popular questions that I get ever. There's really just 4 very specific things that I would recommend. The first thing is... and this is also a very common question that I get, but what questions should you be asking? I'm actually going to reverse engineer that one and say, have a goal in mind for your customer research. The questions that you ask during your customer interview are going to be directly correlated to what you actually want to accomplish in your interview. What do you want to accomplish with your research initiative? Are you trying to troubleshoot activation problems? Are you trying to understand where your customers hang out? Is it really focused on acquisition? Are you trying to figure out why do people churn? Maybe they are customers who have churned and now they are really cancellations and you're trying to unpack, well, what happened? Where did we go wrong? What was going on? There's all kinds of different ways that you can approach your customer research, but hands down, the best advice that I can give is, well, have a goal in mind. What are you trying to learn? What are you trying to unpack? What are you trying to troubleshoot? That's really going to determine what questions you ask. If you're asking about acquisition, you're going to be asking lots of where and how kind of questions, like where do you hang out? And also what was going on in your world that led you to search for a solution, or what was even going on in your world, period? How did you try to solve it? If you're looking for like activation, if you're troubleshooting something in activation, you're going to ask more like motivating questions. So what's motivating you right now? Like what is the first thing that you're trying to accomplish? Why did you do this first and not this first? When you signed up for the account, what was the first thing that you wanted to accomplish or do? Those are going to be more around activation. And then of course, retention. Where did we go wrong? What happened? Talk to us. Did you find another solution? What made that better? That's really what's going to determine your ultimate questions. Okay, number 2. The second thing I would always recommend when it comes to approaching customer research and interviews will really just be your ability to ask your question, but don't feed your customer an answer. This is actually ridiculously hard because as humans, we don't really like uncomfortable or weird, conflicty environments. And asking someone a question and then not kind of like adding a little bit of padding at the end to make it not feel so awkward. It's so hard to not do that. And every fiber in our human being, in our core, wants to, give like the customer like a little bit of like a slide. Like I'm going to ask you this question, but I want to make it feel as, nice and fluffy as possible. Here's an example. Please describe to me your role, but like the things that you do every day, and, talk to me more also about, how you spend your time, like during the workday. You see how I asked the question, or at least I stated really the prompt. But after that, I added all this extra fluffy stuff. Now, what's also really fascinating is the last thing that you say, the customer's brain is going to latch onto that, and they're just going to basically parrot back whatever it is that you say. So be careful that, like, if you have a question or a prompt, just say it. Can you please describe to me your role? And then say not a peep after. It is remarkably difficult, but you will get used to this over time. You don't want to feed customers your answers. The human brain is super lazy. It will latch on to whatever it is, the last thing that you said. And if you find yourself feeding customers answers, you're just going to hear yourself right back. So make sure that you just ask the question or say the prompt. Don't add any qualifiers after. If they ask questions back, like, oh, what do you mean? Like in my job, you can confirm or deny or provide a little bit more context, but try not to feed customers answers to your own questions. Your interviews will just basically be the same, but also you do the customer a disservice. You don't actually let them really think about it. And when you let the customer really think about it, that's where you get all the juicy details. So just be careful about that. Number 3, unpack vague answers. You are undoubtedly going to hear very vague answers. And I'm not going to lie, you're not necessarily going to know if they're vague until you do a few of these interviews. I find by the second or third interview, just in general of practice with interviewing customers, you'll start to hear a lot of the same things over and over and over again. And you'll start to form other questions in your head to like you'll just start thinking about like, well, what does that really mean? So for example, you might hear really vague answers like, I spend time online. And as the interviewer, you might be thinking, well, where online? Podcasts, blogs, like where? Tell me where. So don't be afraid to unpack a vague answer. If you get something that is like a really broad spectrum term or like just not really specific at all, don't be afraid to unpack. And you can do it gently, of course. You don't have to, be combative about it. It's actually really easy. One thing I like to say is, oh, interesting, tell me more. I absolutely love saying that. I spend a lot of time online. Oh, interesting, tell me more. Where online? So easy. Don't be afraid to unpack vague answers. And like I said, you're not necessarily going to know what's vague until you do a few. But after you get the first 2 to 3 under your belt, you'll start to get those like, oh man, we should have dug deeper on that. And that just sets you up for success for all the next interviews to come. Number 4, do not incentivize your customer research. Now, this is so controversial because it's so natural for a founder to think that no one's going to want to talk to them, that they're going to have to give customers like free things and money basically for them to even want to talk to them. But I completely, 1, disagree, and 2, you will be surprised at what an incentive will actually do to your customer interview. And I've been on both sides of the fence, and I've got to say, when the customer is not incentivized at all, you get the hands down best, clearest feedback. When someone is incentivized because they just want the Amazon gift card, or they just want the free coffee, or they want the free month, that's what's motivating them. They're not motivated to give you good, or I don't even want to say good, but they're not really motivated to talk much or just help you with like this insight or this insight driven project. Like they're not motivated by that at all. They don't necessarily care about giving you good information. They only care about getting the gift card or getting the thing. And you don't want to talk to those people anyway. You really want to talk to the people who are willing to do it for free. They're taking their own time out of the day. Those are the people who are going to give you the absolute best insights. And it's also a very clear indicator of the people who feel the most pain and who do ultimately love your product. You don't want to talk to people who don't love your product but do love Amazon gift cards. Just hands down. If you don't incentivize the research, you're just going to hands down get way better feedback. The people who are on the call with you actually care and not about the gift card or whatever it is that you're giving them for free. And those people are likely to give you the clearest indicator of who actually has product market fit, who really truly is your best fit paying customer, and who is emotionally invested in what it is that you're doing. Because if you're getting a customer on the phone, it's because you're probably solving a pain for them. And that's a great indicator. A lot of founders do get afraid that they're not going to get anyone on the phone. And I have never done a customer project, or a customer research project, I should say, or a strategic project where I've not been able to get customers on the phone. They will, I promise, attend. You just have to remind them. And also, if you don't incentivize them, you're going to get the best feedback no matter what. All right, everyone. I really hope that helped. I hope that you learned something. If you want to make sure that you do not miss a single hot take, don't forget to subscribe down below. My name is Asia of DemandMaven, and I help early stage founders with their very first growth milestones. Thank you again so much for watching. I really hope that this helped. Thanks again, guys. Bye, y'all.